Hey, what's up, everybody? Tony VT. I want to show you how to trade your timeshare and actually get where you want to go. I think I've done another video or two on this, but I wanted to actually do the steps with you so you know how to do it and maybe try to explain the process. So when you trade, a lot of people hate trading because they can never get where they want to go, or they call up or they go online and they're like, I want to go to Hawaii this summer, not available. I put in a search for any time this summer in California, Southern California on the coast. Nothing shows up. I want to go to Hawaii in Christmas time. Nothing's available. I want to go to New York at Christmas time and see the Christmas tree thing and whatnot. I want to go to Orlando for 4th of July. I want to go to Orlando for Christmas, and you're trying to book it in August. It's never available. If you've ever had these problems with Interval or RCI for that matter, they all work the same. And what happens is they don't really teach you, obviously when, salesmen like me, when we sell it to you, a lot of people, you don't really have time to teach you how to use it. And they have the instructions in the thing, but I mean, who reads the instructions, right? I mean, I had mine timeshare for like 4 years. I could never get anywhere. I would always call up. I'd be like, hey, Big Daddy wants to go to the Marriott Newport Beach this summer. Not available. Hey, I want to go take my friends up to Lake Tahoe and have a party at the Marriott when I first bought one when I was like 21, and they're like, oh, that's not available. And then I'd be like, I want to go to the one in Marriott in Palm Desert at like next week, and there's like, oh, it's not available. You got to call way ahead for that. And every time I would call it wouldn't be available. So I hated my timeshare. I didn't really use it for like a long time. I don't remember exactly how long. It was like years, but. You have to do it a certain way. And I ended up meeting the owner of the San Francisco exchange, and he's the one who like explained it to me and made it make sense. So I was like, Corey, how come nobody can ever trade these stupid things anywhere? And he owns the San Francisco exchange, which is another high-end timeshare exchange. If you've never heard of them, sfxresorts.com, and they'll actually give you sometimes 2 or 3 weeks for your 1 week. So you might want to look into them, and then you can use they only have the 5-star resorts and the Gold Crown resorts, but you can use both RCI and Interval through them. I don't know if I have my thing logged in here. Passwords. Oh, I don't have my thing in here. But anyways, they have their own resort directory. They have all the like Marriott, Westin, Hyatt. Well, we're kind of getting off track, but whatever, just an extra resource for you. They have a lot of the good resorts that you can trade through here, and they give you a couple, usually 2 weeks for one. But anyways, so when you trade, you have to give up something good for you to get something good. He's like, trading's like baseball cards. He's like, because exchange companies, they make money off of exchange fees. So he's like, if you trade in Arkansas, then, somebody trades in Mexico, and then somebody trades in, Indiana or whatever. So they only get a few trades off that, and they make 189 or whatever it is now, like 220. They make $200 every time something happens. So if you just trade your Hot Springs, Arkansas, and somebody trades Mexico, and then there's a million resorts in Mexico, so nobody really trades for that, and that's where you see all those weeks for sale called getaway weeks. Those are weeks that people have traded in that they couldn't get rid of, and they're just trying to make a few $100s off of them. Where if you trade in something good, like you trade in Hawaii for Christmas, well, then somebody trades Hawaii for New York, and then somebody trades 4th of July for Orlando, and then somebody trades Christmas for Vail, Colorado, and then somebody trades another one in Lake Tahoe for ski season. And it spawns like 40 trades. So they make like $8,000 or $10,000 off of one good trade a week. So they have their own internal scoring system, all right? And a lot of people didn't know this, and I actually thought this chart was the weather. So I'm gonna use mine as an example. So I own a couple weeks in Lake Tahoe at the Marriott. Marriott's my favorite timeshare by far. At least, I haven't used them all, but at least from working in the industry and using them, Marriott's hands down the best. Okay, so just my humble opinion. And now they own everything, Lawrence Welk, Westin, Interval. So everything will be Marriott soon, so you'll be all right. Okay, so first thing you do is you go to this travel index, wherever you own at, whether you own in Arkansas, whether you own Westgate in Orlando, whether you own Mayan Palace in Mexico, wherever, okay? First thing you want to do is go to this chart. Go to pull up your resort, then go to this chart over here, all right? Now, down here at the bottom is the scoring system. This is the scoring system that they rank your week at, all right? So obviously these on the left, the weeks, those are the weeks of the year. So week 1, January, week June would be like week 24 down here, so on and so forth. 51's Christmas. And then you want to go over to depending upon where you want. Like if you're a family and you can only travel during the summer and you're going to like places with kid friendly, like Southern California and Orlando and Hilton Head and all these places, well, so is everybody else is trying to go there. So those weeks are these high demand weeks over here. So you need to give something good to get that. Because if you don't, like say you own a red week, but you call 2 months in advance and you're like, hey, I want to trade my week this summer. Well, 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10, you're not going to get anything. The key to trading, and if you learn this one concept, you'll love your timeshare and you'll go wherever you want, almost anytime you want. All right, but the first you gotta find out what the best week you have access to, and then book that same week every year. All right, so like my Timber Lodge. So the best week to book is week 7. Now the blue dots mean it's the same every year. These colored dots, if you go down to the bottom, it'll say year 2021, year 2022. So those vary by the year, but the blue ones are consistent. So what you want to do is just typically find a blue one. So blue one 7 is a good week, and weeks 25 through 32, and then weeks 51 and 52. These are the best weeks to trade where I own at the Timber Lodge. Now, what you need to do is go back to the resort company you own with. Let me see if I have it up. Okay, so like I own Marriott, all right? So you can go like education and resources, and you can go to this helpful tools, and then click on that. I don't want to get off of it because it might take me a while to get in my account because I have so many transactions. But anyway, so you go to helpful tools and then you bring up the calendar where you own at. So here's my Timber Lodge. So when I'm making this video is August of 2021. So you want to find the best week that you have access to and then book it out more than 10 months in advance. So like basically a year in advance, all right? So I own a platinum summer week and I own a gold week, all right? So the two, so I'm gonna use my platinum summer week as a thing. So my platinum summer, I'm allowed to book weeks 23 through 39. I don't own this one, so I can't book week 27. So I have access to weeks 23 through 39, all right? So I'll go over to my notepad, and I have access to 23 through 27, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, 39. What was I thinking? Okay, 29, 39. Okay, I have access to weeks 23 through 39. In interval, 150 weeks are 25 through 32. Those are the weeks I want to book. Weeks 25 through 32. Okay, and then you just write this down somewhere so you always have it. All right. So okay, so then you go back over here. All right. So week 25 that starts June 19th through August 9th. Okay. So I want to book something that starts either June 19th through, what was it? August 9th, okay? Don't do drugs, kids. They're bad for the memory when you're old like me. All right. So, so I want to book a week that's June 19th through August 9th. All right. Now, I was going to do this video before I actually did mine. So I did it like a week or two ago. And so here's my account. So I booked, so what I did, and always, if you ever buy a timeshare, you want to try to buy a 2-bedroom lock-off. And like if you own one of these older programs like Marriott and you bought it the old way where you own weeks, weeks are still fantastic, provided you can travel a week at a time, which most people can, but and some can't, but you know, weeks are still great because you can lock off the units. And this is like a great hack, especially if you own a Marriott property. And it works the same with all of them. But if you lock it off, then you get 2 weeks out of your 1 week, and I'll show you why that's awesome, okay? So like what I did is I booked check-in date July 29th, which is in my range of June 19th through August 9th. So I booked the deluxe room, which is the one bedroom side of my two bedroom, and then I booked or wait, no, maybe that's the studio side, the deluxe guest room. The master suite is the one bedroom side. All right, so I booked them both for the same dates. All right, so I took my 1 week, locked it off into 2 weeks. I booked it July of 2021. I booked July of 2022 within that range. All right, and then they gave me this this confirmation number right here. All right, and you can see I already deposited it with Interval International. Okay, so and you can call your developer, and a lot of them can do this for you on the phone, but a lot of those people on the phone, they don't own timeshares. They're just, like phone people. They're doing a great job. They're doing all they can, but they're not. Some of them aren't overly familiar with how the trading system works, and so they'll just kind of book you whatever. So now I've booked weeks. When did I book? I booked like week 30 or something. Okay, so week 30 is over here. Now you can just sit back and relax. Now you have what's tantamount to a Babe Ruth baseball card. So you could trade for anything at any time, anything in the system, any resort, any time of year you would have access to, because you have a week that's worth 150 points in their system. All right, now here's the second part. Book that now, like I booked it a year out, and then immediately deposit it with Interval. Okay, I know a lot of people do the request first, and I used to think that was the best till I read the Interval International Timeshare Exchange Bible. There's a guy, Jeff Pierce. He's been trading for like 25 years. I learned a lot of stuff from him. And the request first does work, but deposit first actually works better. And the worst case is you can always trade back into your own resort. All right. So, I got my confirmation number, and you can either call up who you own with. Like I could call Marriott and say, hey, could you deposit it with Interval for me? Or obviously most things are online now. So you can just go into your account. You can just go into, I'll go into my history. And then you can go, go to my units first in exchange. And then, you just go, so for 2022, I just click this button, you just go deposit unit. And then you would just take your, continue. You would just take this confirmation number right here, all right? And then you would just, and then you would just put it right here, paste it, and then put 2 bedroom, unit number, and then just put the check-in date, July, whatever I booked, July 21 or whatever it was, and then put that confirmation number here. I don't know why that's not posting, but you get the point. Okay, so then you just deposit that. All right, press continue, boom, and then it's just in your account. All right. Now, why do you want to do that ahead of time? Because once you deposit that week with Interval, now you have ultimate trading power. You have a Mercedes or a Babe Ruth baseball card. Now you can go on your vacation anytime you want. You can go anytime the year before that date or up to 2 years after that date. So you have a 3-year window on when you can go on your vacation. So don't worry, the week you trade, that's not when you're gonna have to go. That's just the week you're trading as your baseball card, right? You can go on your trip anytime you want. But now that you have that process done, and then just do the same thing every year. Every year, just have a note in your phone, like in my case, every June 19th, I get a reminder, hey, book your weeks for the next year, all right? And then you can see I have I have this week available. I have this one unredeemed deposit, this one available. So I have these in here because I have this one down here that I've had. This one I booked July 29th. So I have 4 weeks in there that I haven't used yet because I just haven't needed to. So they just sit in your account and you can use them anytime. All right? That's the hardest part of trading. Okay, now, and then here's the other hardest part of trading. It's being patient, young grasshopper. Okay, so just know this. When you go to trade your timeshare, when you go to trade these things, what you want, like 9 times out of 10, is not going to be available. Watch, like if I wanted to trade this, even though I have the best week, let's see. Let's do search all destinations. Let's say I wanted to go to Hawaii, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's August of 2021. I want to go to Hawaii. I'll go sometime between November and February of 2022. I'm not that picky. I want to go somewhere. I just want to go to Hawaii or wherever. Okay, and then we'll pick one of these weeks to trade. Okay, and then it'll ask you which one you're going to use. Let's say you wanted to go to Hawaii. Where's Hawaii? H-I-J, Hilton, Maui. Where's Hawaii at? Oh, it's not even on here. There's nothing even available in Hawaii, so it doesn't even pull it up on here. Let's say you want to go to, that's funny, Hilton, or am I missing it? Is there a separate section for Hawaii? South America, Caribbean, Central USA, HI, okay, all right, so I guess there's not, all right. So there's Hawaii doesn't even pull up, so you can't even get one thing available. Let's see this. Let's try Southern California. Let's say you want to go. Oh, you don't even have Southern. So San Diego area. Let's see if you can get the Four Seasons on here. Okay, so you got the Welk and Escondido. There's 3 places. So over the next 4 months in the entire Southern California, there's these 2 places available, like a couple random weeks at these 2 properties. So never, ever, ever, ever trade this way, okay? Never go on here and try to put in and search for an exchange. It's the worst way, and you'll never get what you want. You can see Hawaii didn't even show up on there. So here's what you do. The second part is I was like, when I asked that guy, I was like, Corey, how come you can never get anything? He's like, and after he explained to me, hey, you got to have something good to trade. He's like, the likelihood of you calling up in the exact week you want, being available at the exact time of year you want to go. He's like, that's like trying to find something in the ocean. He's like, do you know what the likelihood is of a Marriott Maui property being open for a 2-bedroom at August 10th through the 17th or November 10th through the 17th that you want to go? It doesn't work like that. Because when trades come in, it goes to whoever's on the search list. Now, it doesn't mean you can't get what you want, but you have to do it this way. You'll almost never pull up what you want unless you want to go off season or you don't care where you're staying at or whatever. So the first thing you want to do is go to where you want to treat. Excuse me. So like we'll use Hawaii as an example because a lot of people want to go there. So you pull up Maui, all right? Excuse me, sorry, let me. Okay, so you go here. Now I only like to stay at these ones that have the, excuse me, the palm tree, I don't know what you call that, little symbol, the hand symbol. Those are the best properties. So you got the Hyatt, you got the Marriott Maui Ocean Club. Excuse me. And then you got the Westin properties down here, okay? So say you're like, well, I don't care. I just want to stay at one of these nicer properties. So then write down all these little codes. So you're like, okay, I want either KAA or KAN. Okay, just copy and then paste it over here. And you're like, I'll trade either the Westin, KAA, or KAN. Okay, or the Westin WNA. That one looks fine down here. The Westin Nanya, that's a brand new property. I'm sure that's spectacular. And then you got the Marriott Maui Ocean Club. So you're like, okay, I'll do MMO, MM1. Okay, I'll sacrifice. I'll either stay at the Westin or the Marriott or the Hyatt. The Hyatt could be HKB. Hyatt. 2T. Okay, HKB. Okay. All right. Now you kind of have an idea where you want to go. Okay. Now go to exchange, go back to my units, and then so whichever one you have available. All right. So say this one bedroom. Now you go place a request. Okay. Because the likelihood of what you want being available at the time you go on here, either you're going to have to go on here all day, every day, 20 times a day to see if something pops up, or you just let the computer do all the work. This is the lazy man system. It's the lazy Mexican guy system, as I like to call it, with my wife. All right, so you go here. So you have a 1-bedroom to trade, but I only stay in 2 bedrooms, so I say I only want a 2-bedroom. Oh, they lowered the upgrade fee. Oh, that's because I'm platinum. If you're going to trade like a couple times a year, that platinum thing does seem to be worth it. These are usually like $100 per unit upgrades. So then you just click next. Kitchen, yes. Special feature, no. Terms and conditions. That we agree to pay if they get us a bigger unit. All right, now to do your request, okay, you just take these codes over here that you wrote down and you go, I want MMA, okay, all right, Marriott, did I do that right? Oh, MMO, my bad. Okay, MMO, Marriott Maui Ocean Club, MM1. You can also type the name of the resort and it'll pop that up. Like you can type in, let's see, Westin Maui. Maybe, sometimes it works. Westin Maui. Maybe it's called something. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you can usually type the name in. That's weird. But that if you have these little codes written down, you could do KNA, which is the shit. Oh, KAN. Sorry. C. Okay, KAN. Westin Kaanapali, and then there's the Hyatt one. Hyatt. All right, Hyatt Willow Ridge. It'll list them all. You know, pick which one you want. Okay. Now here's the thing too. Like, say you just want to go to an island. You're like, well, I don't care if I go to Hawaii or we go to the Virgin Islands or whatever. You can put, like, I think it's up to 48 resorts if I remember correctly. You're like, I just want to go to an island. I don't care if it's Hawaii. You know, we've been trapped indoors from the coronavirus and we just want to get out. We go either the Virgin Islands or the Caribbean or Mexico or Hawaii. You could put them all in conceivably. But say like, no, I only want to go to Hawaii, but I'll sacrifice. I'll stay at either the Westin or the Marriott or the Hawaii. Put them all in there, okay? Then you put what dates you want to travel. You're like, okay, well, we'll go anytime between November 14th is fine and through, I got to do 2022, and we'll go anytime between February, okay? Oh, so you got to pick a date. All right, sorry. February 20th. All right. And then you just go add. Now you got your search going for any time between November to February at any of those 3 properties. That's all you got to do. Now you will get what you want. All right. I've read in their magazines before, the statistics are they have a 95 or 97% success rate doing this. Because most people don't. Most people just go online or they just call them up and they go, hey, I want to go to Hawaii next month, or I want to go to Hawaii 6 months from now, or I want to go to London, or I want to go to, wherever. And it's never available. You have to do this. You have to say, okay, well, just put me on a search and I only want a 2-bedroom and I'll go to any of these 3 properties and I'll go any of these dates. Now, if you can only go at a certain time, like you're like, well, my kid's got a soccer tournament there, or I only want to go at Christmas, then just put that one date, but try to pick as many resorts as possible. The broader you are, the faster you'll get what you want, all right? And then all you do is you just go accept terms and then just continue. And then it asks you some questions like, do you need a guest certificate or this retrade plus? I've done this once. It kind of was okay. But the thing I didn't realize or I didn't read the details, of course, is when you go to retrade it, you can't do a search. You can only retrade for whatever they have available, and it's only available whatever is available in the next 60 days. So just be careful on that. If you're going to do the retrade, it's not a full trade. You can't like set a search and do all that. You can retrade it, but you can only get what they happen to have available, which, as you saw, usually isn't that much, if anything. So you could pick these or not, and then you just go continue, and then you could obviously put in a guest name if you're going to do that, and then it has your whole thing. Total to pay is 0. I'm surprised it usually charges for it usually will say, your $199 or $200. And then you just press continue, and that's it. All right. Now you're done. All right. Now the computer's going to search 24 hours a day for what you want. All right. You don't have to do anything. And it's not an exact statistic, but I've read before something like I can't remember. It was a high percentage, like 80 or 90% of the time, within 2 to 3 weeks of you putting in this request, you will get what you want. All right. And what happens is the computer will just spit you out an email. It'll confirm you. You don't need to do anything, but keep your eye on your email when you have a search going, because you have 24 hours to turn it down. So if it comes in your email and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot about the tennis tournament or the bridge tournament or whatever, you can call them within 24 hours and say, oh no, I want to kind of change my search. So just turn that one down. Or say they send you a 1-bedroom, but you wanted a 2-bedroom, call them back and you say, actually, I only want a 2-bedroom, not a 1-bedroom. And then they'll do the search for you with that. So keep an eye on it when you do have a trade. But that's it. And if you do it this way, you will get what you want when you want, 90 whatever % of the time, and you will love your timeshare. Because then you can trade to some great places. Like, let me just show you some of my exchanges, because I'm cheap. I'm the cheapest person alive, but maybe not that cheap. But I like to stay at these nicer ones and get my money out of it, because I paid, and I didn't even pay that much for my timeshares because I worked in the industry. So, oh no, that's the wrong thing. I want to go to my history. Okay, so just to show you a couple examples, these are some of the trades I've done over the past few years. All right. So I like to get my money's worth, so I want to trade to the nicer ones. So starting back in 2014, when I started really getting into this and really trading, I traded my studio at Marriott Timber Lodge for a 2-bedroom Marriott Timber Lodge. Traded my 2-bedroom for a Desert Springs 2-bedroom at the Marriott. I traded my 2-bedroom Timber Lodge to the Four Seasons Aviara 2-bedroom. Now, is timeshares a good deal? Let's see. If you go to the fourseasons.com, for the Aviara, yes, allow private residences. So go to the residences. This is one of my favorite resorts, the Aviara. You go down here. It's in San Diego. What's it called? Belize, Boston. Toronto, oh shoot, where? In Southern Cal. Oh, maybe this isn't. This is different. Okay, what's? Residence Club. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so the Residence Clubs. You go on here, Aviara. Let's see. Does it let you book the dates? Okay, let's see. Four Seasons, Aviara, book. Okay, Four Seasons. Okay, featured rentals, check rates. Okay, check in. Let's give you an example of if timeshare is a good deal or not. Okay, so, oh wow, this place is booked. Let's see, how much is a week here? 2 adults, check rates. Now, this is one of my favorite places. I've been here multiple times. a 1-bedroom here. Choose a package. Stay longer, 3rd night free. Okay. Room rate, best available, select package. Okay. To stay here for 1 week with taxes, $6,700. All right. So what I used to tell people when I sold timeshares, like, look, you know, your maintenance fees, like my maintenance fee on that Timber Lodge week is like, I want to say $1,600 or $1,800. But I lock it off. I get 2 weeks out of it. So each week's about $900 in maintenance. Okay. Now, could I go book a hotel for a week for $900? Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe at the Fairfield Inn or whatever. Or like a smaller hotel chain, but even those are like $150 a night now. So 7 nights would still be like $1,000, $1,200 with taxes. But if you take that same week and you trade into the 4 Seasons, well, you just got a week that's $6,700. Now, I don't necessarily say you save $6,700 because there's no way in heck I would ever pay $6,700 to stay somewhere, but that's just me. Maybe you would. And if you would, then this works out even better. Even if you only traded your 1 week and your maintenance fee is $1,500, but you go stay in somewhere that's $6,700, well, if you only paid $15,000 or $20,000 for that unit, how many trades does it take to get your money back? I mean, because you know, same if you trade to a Marriott property. And this is where people, I think, you know, are mistaken when they say that timeshare is not a good value. It depends on what you compare it to. Let's see, I guess Hawaii. Let's do a certain place so I can pull it up, like a Maui, Hawaii. Okay, and you want to book. Say you want to go October 17th to 24th. Okay, and you go find hotels. Now, you can trade into these same places. Let's see, Marriott Maui Ocean Club, view availability, it's sold out. No check-in, no check-in. I think everybody's sick of being in the house. 7 nights, lowest price, $4,400, okay? Member rate, non-refundable, if you want to be able to cancel, you come here. $647 a night. So a 1-bedroom after it's $5,100. Okay, the 4 Seasons $6,700. All right, you could literally take my lockout unit and trade 1 unit to this Marriott property in Hawaii and 1 unit to the 4 Seasons. Now you just got $12,000 in rooms for your $1,800 in maintenance costs. Now, is your timeshare a good deal then? Well, if you paid 20 grand for the timeshare and you got these 2 rooms, well, you almost got all your money back in value on 1 year's worth of trips. But so that's where you get the value out of timeshare. Trading is the best way to get your value. Okay, so I traded this 2-bedroom to the 4 Seasons. I traded this studio to the 2-bedroom at Marriott Park City. I traded this 2-bedroom to the 2-bedroom at the Hyatt in Sedona. I traded my studio to a 2-bedroom Newport Beach. I traded my 2-bedroom to the 4 Seasons 2-bedroom. I traded my studio to the Marriott 2-bedroom and Newport Beach, which is equally as expensive as the other one. Marriott, I traded my 1-bedroom to the Shadow Ridge Marriott 2-bedroom. I traded my studio to the 2-bedroom Marriott Park City. Traded my 2-bedroom back to the 4 Seasons, a 2-bedroom. I traded to this Canyon Villas Marriott 2-bedroom, Marriott Timber Lodge 2-bedroom, Shadow Ridge Marriott. So I've gotten so much value out of my timeshare. And plus I bought it when I worked there, so I only paid like $8,000 for it. So I paid my $1,800 in maintenance. She's in the room. Sorry, my kid's yelling, so I apologize. If you're going to watch my videos, you got to deal with kids, dogs, RVs, craziness going on over here. But we're selling the RV business and we're moving to Portugal and the Republic of Georgia. So we're still going to keep our timeshare rental business. If you need help renting out your timeshare points ever, you can go to our website, timesharesimplified.com, contact us. We can help you rent out your timeshare points. So in the event you can't trade or you can't do any of this stuff, but essentially if you do what I tell you, you can make all these awesome exchanges as well. I kind of go a little bit off season because it just makes everything easier. I typically get my exchanges within a week. I mean, I never really timed it, but most of the time it's within 2 weeks. I'll put it in. I'll get an email. Hey, we have your week ready. Boom. I do it. I started planning like a year out too. I used to be a short-term planner where I didn't really plan anything out. And I since plan everything out like a year or so. It makes life so much better because you can always cancel it, turn it into something else, or change it. But if you have your trips booked a year out, 6 months out, it makes it better. You have something to look forward to. You can make plans around it. You have, it makes your life more relaxing. You know you're going somewhere good, so it gives you something to look forward to all year. And it's just a way better way to go. All right, I think I took too long on this video. I apologize, but I wanted to show you how to do it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments or any other topics you want me to go over. But if you do that, you will actually be staying at some of these places where people really do actually pay that. Look at, they're almost sold out, and that's on Marriott.com. So if you want to get the value out of your timeshare, whether you own Westgate, whether you own Hilton, whether you own Hyatt, any of them, they all work the exact same. Find your resort on here, pick it, find the best weeks, find out which weeks you have access to, book one of the weeks, book it a year in advance, deposit it immediately, and then just relax. And then whenever you figure out where you want to go or when you want to go, then you call up Interval or go online, place a request for it, and then just wait. And then if you get the email, boom, you're done. And then if not, if you don't want it, call them, tell them you don't want it within 24 hours and keep the search going and maybe alter your search a little bit. You do that, you'll be staying at some of these places that cost $67 to $87, $51, $81. You'll be getting tons of value out of your timeshare. Otherwise, you're going to get pissed, not use your timeshare. You're going to sell it. You'll have wasted the 15, 20 grand you paid for it, all the years of maintenance you paid for it. That'll all be wasted. You're still going to have to go on vacation, so you're still going to have to go to hotels.com or Expedia and still pay $150 to $300 a night. And with the amount of money they printed, inflation's going to be crazy. Rooms are going to be, 10,000. God only knows how much rooms are going to be. With inflation, it's inflated like 25% a year right now. So, I'm sorry, not the government numbers, it's 5%, but not counting food and gas and electricity and whatnot. But hey, I digress. So if you're upset with your timeshare, you did a good thing, you did a smart thing. Just learn how to use it correctly. You do that, and you'll get any trade you want. All right, God bless. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we will see you on the next video.